In 1809, a widow walked into a government office in Connecticut, carrying a revolutionary new invention. In doing so, she was about to shatter a barrier that had stood for over 2 centuries. Her name was Mary Dixon Kies, and she was about to become the first woman in American history to receive a patent. But here's the twist. Her groundbreaking achievement would be lost to history, consumed by flames, and forgotten by the very nation she helped build. Born in 1752 to an Irish immigrant family in Langley, Connecticut, Mary Dixon grew up in a world where women were legally considered their husband's property. They couldn't own land, sign contracts, or even control their own wages. The American Revolution may have promised freedom, but that freedom didn't extend to women's rights. Mary married Isaac Pike in 1770, but was widowed young. She later remarried John Kies, continuing to work as a weaver and milliner to support her family. But Mary wasn't content with just following the traditional path laid out for women of her time. She had a brilliant mind for innovation, particularly in textile manufacturing, an industry that would soon become crucial to America's economic independence. Living in rural Connecticut, Mary witnessed firsthand the growing tensions between the young United States and Britain. As trade relations deteriorated, President Jefferson's embargo of 1807 cut off vital imports, including the fine European textiles that American society heavily relied upon. This crisis would set the stage for Mary's revolutionary invention. But even more significantly, it would create an opportunity for a woman to make her mark in a man's world. The obstacles Mary faced were monumental. In early 19th century America, women weren't just discouraged from inventing, they were actively blocked from the patent system. The law treated women as dependents, unable to own property or enter into contracts without their husband's permission. For a widow like Mary, this meant navigating a complex legal system that wasn't designed to recognize her rights. The straw bonnet industry, where Mary focused her innovation, was facing its own crisis. With European imports restricted, American manufacturers desperately needed new techniques to produce competitive products. Mary spent countless hours experimenting with different weaving methods, combining various materials in ways never tried before. She worked in secret, knowing that if her invention proved successful, she'd face an even bigger challenge: becoming the first woman to challenge the male-only patent system. Many told her it was impossible. Some suggested she patent her invention under a man's name. But Mary refused to let her gender define her capabilities. She was determined to claim her rightful place in history, even if society wasn't ready for it. Mary's breakthrough came in the form of a new method of weaving straw with silk or thread to create durable, beautiful bonnets. This might sound simple to us today, but in 1809, it was revolutionary. Her technique allowed for the creation of lightweight, fashionable hats that could compete with the finest European imports. The timing couldn't have been better. With Jefferson's embargo cutting off foreign trade, American manufacturers were desperate for domestic innovations. Mary's method wasn't just a new way of making hats. It was a solution to a national economic crisis. When she submitted her patent application, she did something unprecedented. She signed her own name. On May 5, 1809, Patent X 2208 was granted to Mary Dixon Kies, making her the first woman to receive a U.S. patent under her own name. First Lady Dolly Madison personally wrote to congratulate her, recognizing the significance of her achievement. The impact was immediate. Mary's invention helped revitalize the New England hat industry, providing employment for hundreds of women and contributing significantly to the American economy. Her success proved that women could be innovators, entrepreneurs, and contributors to national progress. But history can be cruel to its pioneers. Despite her groundbreaking achievement and initial success, Mary's story took a tragic turn. The economic landscape shifted rapidly after the War of 1812. Cheaper manufacturing methods emerged, and changing fashions affected the demand for straw bonnets. Mary, who had invested heavily in her invention, saw her fortune decline. By the 1820s, she was struggling financially. Then came the devastating Patent Office fire of 1836. In a cruel twist of fate, the fire destroyed all patent records from before that year, including Mary's historic patent. With no physical record of her achievement, her story began to fade from memory. She died in poverty in 1837. Her contribution to American innovation largely forgotten. Other inventors, particularly men, would be celebrated and remembered, while Mary's name slipped into obscurity. The very system she had helped break open for women seemed determined to erase her from its history. But here's why Mary Dixon Kies' story matters more than ever today. She didn't just break the patent barrier. She shattered a ceiling that had existed since the founding of America. Her achievement opened the door for countless women inventors who followed. Today, when we talk about gender gaps in STEM fields and innovation, Mary's story reminds us how far we've come and how far we still have to go. In 2006, she was finally inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame, a recognition long overdue. Her hometown of Killingly now celebrates her legacy with a monument, ensuring future generations remember her courage. Mary Dixon Kies proved that innovation knows no gender, that determination can overcome discrimination, and that one person's breakthrough can change the course of history. In an era where we're still fighting for equal recognition of women's achievements, her story isn't just history, it's a blueprint for the future. So the next time someone tells you something's impossible because it's never been done before, remember Mary Dixon Kies. Remember the widow who walked into that government office in 1809 and changed America forever. If you're inspired by forgotten innovators like Mary, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more true stories of forgotten geniuses. And let us know in the comments, what other pioneering women inventors deserve to have their stories told? Together, we can ensure that history's forgotten geniuses stay forgotten no more.